let's explain the state design pattern. What problem it solves, how it works, its UML structure, when to use it, and a simple example from video games. Imagine you're building AI for an enemy in your video game. The enemy can be idle, patrol, chase, or attack. The naive solution would be to use a big if-else or a switch statement. If the player is close, attack. Else, if the player is visible or in range, then chase, and finally patrol. However, as the behavior grows, this becomes hard to read, hard to test, and very easy to break. The state pattern allows an object to change its behavior when its internal state changes. Thus, it's called a behavioral pattern. The object appears to change its class, but instead delegates behavior to state objects. In UML terms, there are four main parts: the context or the main object, for example, the enemy, the state interface that defines behavior, the concrete states like the idle, chase, and attack state, and finally, state transitions. The context holds a reference to the current state, and all behavior is forwarded to that state object. This pattern is especially useful when the behavior depends on the current state. There are many conditional branches and states are clearly separated. However, we should avoid this design pattern if there are only two simple states. The behaviors rarely change or the transitions are trivial. To give a better understanding of this design pattern, let's look at a simplified explanation using TypeScript. Here is an interface state with only an update enemy method. This is an enemy which has a custom state and methods for setting the state and calling update for the state every frame. These are some examples of states: the idle state, which checks if the enemy is nearby for changing the state; the chase state, which moves towards the player and then the changes state if close enough; and the attack state, which finally attacks the player. So to go over the benefits, state design pattern removes complex conditionals, isolates the states, makes addition and testing of states much easier, and is overall perfect for game AI. That's the state pattern for you. If you found this useful, consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on the other videos I post.